Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Power Up today on this fine Thursday, Thursday, December the 21st. Good to be on with you. Thank you so much for joining me today. And no matter when, where, how you're watching, I would encourage you hit the share button so that others know we're watching. Whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, thank you so much for being on. Let's share that. And then I want to also encourage you comment throughout our Power Up as well. Hope that you've had a good start to your day. I know it's early. For those of you who are watching live later on in the day, hope that you've had a great start to your day as well. Thanks so much for those of you who were able to be in church last night. Thank you for being here. We had a wonderful night last night. The Rock had our Christmas party, and the kids had a good time. And thank you, Rock staff, for all that you do for our young people, for faithfully being in your place, for modeling Jesus to our young people, and also for teaching our young people, and just appreciate all of you, all of your work with the children. Then we had a good Bible study last night as well, as we began to look at the life of Abraham. Well, we just scratched the surface of his story, and excited about our continued study. We'll get into it. I think the next time we'll be in Genesis, looking at Abraham. I think we'll be in the new year, and so I would encourage you to be back for that. For those of you, or we'll announce that maybe next time, but want to thank everybody once again for last night. We're going to be in Revelation chapter 21. I think we've got a good number of people on here, so we can get started. Revelation chapter 21. We're going to start in verse number 9. Once again, hit that share button really quick there. All right, and then, hey, let's do this. Let's share, and I said we were going to do this, and I kind of forgot. Let's share our favorite Christmas song. Our favorite Christmas song. There's a lot of good ones out there. One of my favorites is "Oh Holy Night," and love that song. Just a beautiful rendition, and just a worshipful song. Also enjoy the. It's often sung Christmas time, the Hallelujah chorus. I love that as well. Just all those voices praising the God. For me, I kind of think that's what heaven's going to sound like, except times probably a million, because of just the sheer number of people, the quality of the voices, all that, and then all of heaven worshiping Lord. It's going to be incredible. And so I love those songs. And then maybe some of the secular songs. One of the ones that the kids and I have a good time with, for whatever reason, is "Last Christmas." I gave you my heart. We just kind of joke around about that song. But yeah, there's just so let's do this. Give me your favorite Christmas hymn or song, or both, and we'll just kind of see what's out there, what everybody's thinking. Anyway, here we go. Revelation chapter 21. Let's look at verse number 9. We're looking at this description of the New Jerusalem. Here we're looking throughout the rest of chapter 21. We're looking at the physical description of this city, the outer shell of it, if you think about it that way. And so let's take a look here. Verse number 9. So Revelation 21 and verse number 9. And there came unto me one of the seven angels which had the seven vials full of the seven last plagues. And remember that being towards the end of the tribulation, right before Christ comes back. We see these seven vial judgments which happen in rapid succession. And then here we have one of those angels coming to John here and says, "And talked with me, saying, Come hither, I will show thee the bride, the Lamb's wife. And he carried me away in the Spirit to a great and high mountain, and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God, having the glory of God. And her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal." We're going to see a lot of the descriptors here of this New Jerusalem. We're going to see a lot of stones and colors kind of brought out as we look at the foundation here in a little bit. We look at the walls and so on, and just the splendor of this New Jerusalem, okay? And here we see this first one, this jasper stone, clear as crystal. And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels. and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. And on the east, 3 gates, on the north, 3 gates, on the south, 3 gates, on the west, 3 gates. And the wall of the city had 12 foundations, and in them the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. And so we see really this city, and we'll note this towards the end, but bringing together all of the believers of the Old Testament, New Testament. I think that kind of the 12 tribes, the 12 apostles coming together for this. I think that's just kind of symbolizing the togetherness of the believers potentially, and what a as we think about this New Jerusalem, just all those believers. I can't even imagine all those believers past and history past, and then what we would consider maybe present, and we don't know when Christ is going to return, so those future believers as well. Just going to be an incredible time, and as an incredible time in this New Jerusalem. Also, you think about just the beauty of it, the splendor of it, and really we see here our God being a God of order and a God of beauty, as we have these 12 tribes. Mentioned the 12 gates. Each gate has 12 angels. We see also the foundation had 12 foundations, which are the 12 apostles. And man, just incredible. God, the description here of the city, our God being that God of order and that God of beauty. In verse number 15, and he that talked with me had a golden reed to measure the city, and the gates thereof, and the wall thereof, and the city lieth 4 square. And the length is as large as the breadth, and he measured the city with the reed 12,000 furlongs. The length and the breadth and the height of it are equal. So the length of it and the breadth or the width and the height being equal. And we see here this 12,000 furlongs, which would be equivalent to 1,500, I think it's about 1,500 miles, if I remember correctly, 1,500 miles, the length and breadth, and that's an incredible size. I think 1,500 miles. That's pushing. I believe from here to Florida, from Michigan to Florida is pretty close to that. And that's just a long ways. I know from Michigan to California is nearly 2,200 miles, 2,300 miles, if I remember correctly. And so we're looking at quite a large city. And so when we think about heaven, we think about all the believers that will be there. There's going to be plenty of room for everybody. And we note here, and he measured the wall thereof 144 cubits. According to the measure of a man, that is of the angel, and so a cubit being roughly about 18 inches, and so the wall being nearly, do the math on it, is about 216 feet high, and so this is quite a tall wall as well. So you think the city itself is 1,500, roughly 1,500 miles. Long, wide, high, with a wall around the entirety of it at 216 feet high. This is an incredible city. Let's continue reading. Let's look at the further description of the city. Verse number 18. The building of the wall of it was of jasper, and the city was pure gold, like unto clear glass. And the foundations of the wall of the city were garnished with all manner of precious stones. Remember, the foundations written in them are the 12 apostles, and so we have these 12 different stones referenced here as well. The foundations of the wall of the city were garnished with all measure of precious stone. Verse number 19, the first foundation was jasper, the second sapphire, the third chalcedony, the fourth an emerald, the fifth sardonyx, the sixth sardius, the seventh chrysolite, the eighth beryl, the ninth a topaz, the 10th chrysoprasus, the 11th a jacinth, the 12th an amethyst. And the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Think about this now. The sheer size of these pearls, these 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every several gate was of one pearl. and the street of the city was pure gold, as it were transparent glass, and each gate here being a pearl, the city itself being pure glass on this foundation of these 12 very precious, beautiful stones. And to top it all off, now this is going to be incredible. I can't even imagine in my mind what this is going to look like. But it says, and I saw in verse number 22, no temple therein, for the Lord God Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it. So there's no temple in this city, this New Jerusalem. And here's the reason why. And the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon to shine in it, for the glory of God did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof. And so the glory of God fills the New Jerusalem with light. And you think about these precious stones, many of them being clear, transparent as glass, and just kind of you see the light shining through these stones. I mean, just beautiful, incredible. And you think about the glory of God shining throughout that city. The city of New Jerusalem is much like the Holy of Holies in its beauty and glory and splendor, where mankind could not go into. The Holy of Holies was entered once a year, and we note that the Shekinah glory, and we see all of that reference in the Old Testament and spoken about in the Old Testament. Man, this is going to be a glorious city where God's glory shines brightly. And we note in verse number 24, the nations of them, get this now, and the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it, and the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it. And the gates of it shall not be shut at all by day, for there shall be no night there. And because there's no night, God's glory shining, it says the gates won't be closed. And typically you close a gate and you lock up the doors at night, obviously for protection purposes, all of that kind of stuff while you're sleeping. Well, there's no night there in this New Jerusalem, no night in heaven. And you think there's no reason to shut the gates because there is no sin there, there's no wrongdoing, there's no threat there, so the gates do not need to be shut. In fact, we see that the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it. The kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it. And so we see there's freedom to come and go from this New Jerusalem as we please. Verse number 26, and they bring the glory and honor of the nations into it. Get this now, and there shall in no wise enter into anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh abomination or maketh a lie. Now get this, this New Jerusalem is full of these people, but they, who's allowed into this New Jerusalem, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life. That's who's allowed in this New Jerusalem. Now you get the contrast. You go back to the end of chapter number 20, where it says in verse number 14, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death, and whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. So there's two types of people that enter into eternity. Those that are written in the Lamb's book of life and those that are not. Those that are written in the Lamb's book of life are welcome into this New Jerusalem. Those that are written in the Lamb's book of life are in this New Jerusalem. Those that are not, whose names are not found written in the book of life, are cast into the lake of fire. And once again, this is just a reminder for us to be faithful. What God has called us to do in this church age, it is to be bearers of good news, the good news being the gospel, and bearing the good news of God's love for mankind and Jesus' sacrifice for mankind. So let's be faithful in that. And I would encourage you, let's be that testimony witness even during this Christmas season, okay? So we're going to end with that. Chapter 22, we see just a little bit more of a description of this New Jerusalem right at the beginning, and then we see We're coming down to this last chapter in the book of Revelation. And so I want to encourage you, we're going to be finishing this up. I don't know if we'll finish it up tomorrow, but definitely into next week, and then we're into a new year. And so I want to encourage you along these lines. Be thinking and praying about where we could go next as we consider our daily scripture reading and comments throughout the scriptures as we go. And so let's be praying about where to go next in the scriptures. Okay, now let's welcome those who have commented live. Also, we'll see what everybody has commented for their favorite Christmas carol, Christmas song here this morning. Also, those of you who are watching throughout the day, comment your favorite Christmas carol or song as well. All right, Cliff and Karen, good morning to you both. Good to have you on today. I trust that you guys will have a great day. Jody, good morning to you. Hope that you are doing well out west there in Montana. Hope the family's doing well there. Brian and Cindy, good morning to you both. Hope you guys have a great day. Ingrid, good morning to you. Love you and have a great day. And Cliff and Karen, here we go. Let's look at some of these songs. Cliff and Karen's favorite song, Oh Holy Night, one of my favorites. I love it. I love the renditions of when a choir sings. Maybe a soloist gets out there, sings a large part of it, and then on that chorus they just kind of belt it out. I love that, and what a great song. And Ingrid, I want a hippocampus, and that would be hippopotamus, I think, for Christmas. I'm going to be honest, I hate that song, and so. Hopefully that doesn't offend you, Ingrid. But your favorite hymn would be Oh Holy Night. Good choice there. Love that as well. And Shelley, welcome. Good to have you on in Indiana there. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. AC, good to have you on as well. And hey, what child is this? That's another great song as well. That description of Jesus, the description of his birth. That is a great song. I love that. Jody's favorite, Silent Night, and that's another good song, and just another reminder of the birth of Christ. And Silent Night, Holy Night, great song. And Shelley, Oh Holy Night, one of your favorites. Thank you so much for that kind comment as well. And I did sing a solo a couple of years back. My kids, I sing a lot in the car. Much to my kids' chagrin, my children's chagrin. And when Oh Holy Night comes on, belt that one out there. And so it was a privilege to sing that. And one of my dreams to sing that as a solo. And I don't know if I did it justice, but enjoyed doing it. Brian and Cindy, Silent Night, another Silent Night vote there. Great song. And then Luke, good to have you on. Thank you for your encouraging comment. And what child is this? And so those of you who continue to comment throughout the video, the live presentation of the video is going to end. But hey, continue to put down there your favorite Christmas carol, hymn, or song. Have a great day, everybody. We'll touch base again tomorrow morning at 7:30. Hope to see you all then. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day.